Let's see this question. We're given this irrational number, right? And we want to simplify it. So first we see the numerator. So the numerator, we have cubic root. So the index is 3. Then we can apply raised by 3. So when the power and the index are the same, we just get back to the radicand. So basically, if we have x, the index is m, then the n could be here or could be outside, or this equals to. It could be outside. So in any case, when the index and the power are the same, we can write it as rational exponent. So the numerator is the power and the denominator is the index. So we call this rational exponent. So when m equals to n, so this just equals to x raised by 1, right? Which is just x. So we're applying this property here, right? The index, so this cubic root, this whole thing. The index is 3, which means a cubic root, and then raised by power 3. So the index and the power are the same. So we just get the radicand itself. In this case, it's x. In our case, it's 2 plus radical 5. It's still a irrational number. Now let's see the denominator. So this 3, power 3, apply to the numerator and also applies to the denominator. Okay, we also raise 1 plus square root of 5 by 3. Remember the formula, sum of cubes, the formula. Let's write it in A, B case. So let's see if we have A plus B raised by 3. We have A raised by 3. The first one, A raised by 3. Then the first one, the exponent of the first one goes descending order. So the second one will be A squared. Then will be A raised by 1. Then will be A raised by 0. Or A raised by 0, basically just 1, right? Then the second one, B, goes the ascending order. So the exponents increasing. In the first case is B raised by 0, which is just 1. Anything raised by 0, just 1. So 1 times A cubed, still A cubed. Right, so basically this is just 1. And A cubed times 1, just A cubed. So the first one is just A cubed. And the second one, so B raised by 1. So let's write here, B raised by 1. Right? Then B raised by square. Then multiply by B raised by 3. Because the power is 3, so the highest degree of any term will be 3. Right, so A raised by 3, B raised by 3. Now, one more thing, coefficient. If you know binomial theorem, right, that involves coefficient. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 terms. The coefficient of the first one is 1. The second one is 3. And the third one is 3. And the fourth one is 1. So 1 times A cubed is A cubed. And we have 3A squared B, second term. And 3AB squared, third term. Then plus B cubed. Right, so let's apply this to our question. So our A is 1, our B is square root of 5. So 1 raised by 3, first term. Then 3 times 1 raised by square. Then B is square root of 5. Then plus third term, 3 times 8 times 1 times square root of 5 squared. Then plus square root of 5 raised by 3. Now let's simplify. 1 raised by 3 is still 1. Plus 3 times 1 squared is 1. 3 times 1, 3. 3 times radical 5, that's 3 radical 5. Then plus 3 times 1, 3. Radical 5 squared, the index by default is 2. Again, 2 raised by 2 is 1. So we just get 5 raised by 1. 3 times 5, that's 15. Then let's calculate this on the side. So we have square root 5 raised by 3. We can write that as square root 5 because 3 equals 2 plus 1, right? So we can write as square root 5 raised by square, then plus 1, or we can write as square root 5 raised by 1. Square root 5 square, again, the index is 2, 2 over 2 becomes 1, so this becomes 5 square root of 5. So 3, so we have 5 square root 5, that's this one. So plus 5 radical 5. Now let's combine like terms or like radicals. So 1 and 15 are like terms. So it's 16. Then 3 radical 5 plus 5 radical 5, that's 8 radical 5. We call like radicals, right? Because this is a 3 of radical 5. This is a 5 of radical 5. It's like 3 apples plus 5 apples. How many apples you have? 8 apples, right? So you have 3 radical 5 plus 5 radical 5. That's 8 radical 5. And this one, we see we have a common factor of 8. So let's factor out 8. Then we have 2 plus radical 5. All right, that's the denominator. So let's write back here. So we have 8 times 2 plus radical 5. Well, in the numerator, we have 2 plus radical 5. In the denominator, we also have 2 plus radical 5. So we can rewrite this as 1 over 8, because this is in denominator, multiplied by 2 plus radical 5, divided by 2 plus radical 5. So something divides itself equals to 1, right? Something divides itself equals 1. Like 2 apples shared by 2 people, so each person gets 1, right? 5 apples divided by 5 people, each one gets 1. Well, imagine we have, this many of things divided by this many. Well, that just equals 1. So the whole expression in the end just equals to 1/8.